I guess we should probably start off with the setting up of Virginia 21 at George Mason, because up until this year we didn't really have an active chapter. So that was one of the big things that we wanted to try and get off the ground this year, is to try and really have a chapter that was doing good work here at Mason and really getting students involved. And so with the leadership of Josh and Safraz and Ron, it's really taken off, and they were really able to get students involved and really able to get out there and get students knowing what was going on in the electoral process, specifically in Virginia, but on a nationwide level as well. This year we focused specifically on redistricting and a bipartisan redistricting committee, and that was something that we felt really passionately about as a student government and as a Virginia 21 chapter, just because it's something that affects not only young voters but voters across the Commonwealth of Virginia. And it's something that we knew would really help make an equitable system of voting throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I think one of the big things with that is just knowing that your vote really does matter the same, regardless of whether you're in Northern Virginia or Southwest Virginia or in Newport News, Tidewater area, that your vote's going to count the same and that your vote's going to mean the same thing. And I think that's a huge thing to a young student, is that knowing that your vote counts as much as anyone else's and knowing that you really have a power in your vote.
Now that I'm a Virginia student and I'm a Virginia resident, I felt like it'd be best for me to vote in this state. And I think students are kind of underrepresented as far as the legislature goes, and I feel like the more students that register to vote and the more students that go out to vote, the more representation we'll have.
I'm most proud of George Mason University hosting a forum for the candidates that were running for office. It came to our school and students got to hear what they had to say. The governor came and the former governor came, and that was a really cool experience because they came and they stayed afterwards to talk to students about their issues and concerns with college and the state of Virginia. And I thought that was a really, really neat experience, and I'm glad that they came, and hopefully they'll come back.
Probably one of the most enjoyable things about Virginia 21 is the canvassing. We went to many of the surrounding areas, Prince William and Fairfax and Manassas, and just led a bipartisan effort to get the people that we felt would be best for Virginia 21, the Commonwealth, and the students here in the state elected.
And, you know, again, most of our membership comes out of our Student Government Association, which is pretty active on campus in general, meaning that both of our groups work together a lot to get, you know, political activism out there as a whole.
One of my memorable experiences from phone banking was picking up the phone and calling an elderly gentleman who was in a wheelchair who didn't know that there were various services for him that we could provide to him, such as picking him up to go vote and such, and he was quite thrilled that we were able to do that.
With lobbying, one of the things that surprised me was just the casualness of going in to lobby either your state senator or your state delegate, and the way that you can talk to the legislative assistant, you can talk to anyone in their office, and they're all really receptive of your ideas generally. And it's something you may not find as easily if you're going on a national level to lobby your U.S. senator or your U.S. representative. They really do care on a statewide level, and they will, as a college student, they don't disrespect you just because you're younger than they are. They really take your input to heart. And I think that's one of the big things that really came across to all the students who went down on the lobbying trips, is they knew that their voice was being heard, so it was really more important for them to do it. With the Student Leadership Committee, it's really amazingly organized. Stephen Jones does a great job of putting together ideas and putting together briefings on what's going on with the Virginia legislature and the bills and statutes that they're trying to pass. And I think with that, there's a lot of discussion and a lot of dialogue between the student body presidents and the campus coordinators about what we really want to represent as members of Virginia 21 and what we think that our campuses would want us to represent them for. And that's a huge thing, just going in and saying this is what our campus wants and having that heard immediately. And we're the ones making the decisions as far as what we want to support, what we don't want to support, which I don't think you can find anywhere else, is students really going in and saying this is our agenda. And that's a huge thing. Students saying, this is what we want, and this is how we're going to get it, and we're going to work to make that happen.